Hi everyone, so welcome to another prelude. This is another prelude to my historical run, as I like to call it, where I'm going to be playing the most important video games from 1972 onwards. And I figured that since Pokemon is absolutely one of those important games, because damn, that whole company, the Pokemon company, Nintendo, I mean, how do you become like one of the most successful businesses in the world? Well, you start with this. What I wanted to do was actually show off my living dex, or as other people might call it, a origin dex. So anyways, I started with Pokemon Yellow back about 3 years ago, and that was supposed to be the start of that entire run, but truthfully, I felt like starting this whole run because with Legends Arceus, that was the first game to make me want to catch them all. And even then, Legends Arceus was not even the first game that I played. It's not even like the fourth game I played. It's not the third game I played. Actually, I would say that Let's Go Pikachu was the third Pokemon game that I ever played. The first was Platinum. The second was HeartGold. Because I was back in 2011, I've actually lost a lot of those Pokemon that were in those games. Kyle, if you remember from earlier videos in this channel, Kyle actually had Pearl for DS and actually gave me their Pearl. And I decided I was going to put my Platinum team on there. And lo and behold, years later, I'd lose the cartridge, which also means losing all the event Pokemon that Kyle collected and I actually had on that cartridge. It's just crazy. But anyways, on to the living dex. I'll say that before actually getting into the numbered Pokemon or the national dex, I actually have these Hall of Fame pages, which is where I keep the Pokemon teams that I use for each game. So here you see my Pokemon Yellow team, which includes all these. Sandshrew is my HM slave. Here's my Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu team, which you can see at the bottom right. You even have the icon for Pikachu, Eevee sort of, as almost like a hybrid of them two. Here is the Game Boy icon, so you can see that I used the Virtual Console on the 3DS to play them. And what's cool, whoopsies, is that like an Origin Dex, you try to catch the Pokemon from the region that they were introduced. So Charizard, Pikachu, Venusaur, Blastoise, Nidoking, Sandshrew, they all say Kanto. Same thing here with the Let's Go Pikachu Pokemon. All say Kanto, which is crazy because the Sandslash is actually an Alolan Sandslash. That's okay because that's how the game works, and this was before I decided I was actually going to go for this Living Dex / Origin Dex. I don't know really what to call it. I also have little sections for like honorable mentions, I could say. So it's like here's two honorable mentions from my Yellow team. Here's an honorable mention from my Let's Go Pikachu team. And here are two of the oldest Pokemon that I have, which sadly, because they're from HeartGold, the only remaining Pokemon from my HeartGold days in 2011, sadly because they got transferred over to Black, White, or Black 2, one of the two, or one of the three I should say, the dates get updated, so even though I caught them in 2011, it says 2025. And I'm still going to keep them there because these are absolutely treasures to keep. And you can even see from the moveset of this Pikachu, and I kind of wanted to judge his moveset, or base his moveset, I should say, on Ash's Pikachu. So a Quick Attack, Iron Tail, Thunderbolt. I just didn't have Volt Tackle because you cannot teach that to Pokemon unless you get an event Pokemon. More on that later. So yeah, here's my SoulSilver team, which is really cool. Ferret was my HM slave. Wonderful, wonderful, but I deleted all the HM moves and actually gave Ferret good moves because I feel like it'd be fun to go with Ferret to do a legitimate battle one day. Here's my HeartGold team, which I played just after SoulSilver. Here's my Alpha Sapphire team. No, sorry, this is my Omega Ruby team. And you'll see here as well some games, even with SoulSilver down here, I end up with 2 starters because I'm trying to experience most of what the region offers me. And if I'm only given 2 games to experience the region, I'm gonna have to try and cram that other starter into the game. But at the very least, I'm still getting 1 game where I'm choosing 1 starter so I can still have as much of an authentic experience. You'll see with the case here, actually, it's much better for Sinnoh because I decided I was gonna go with Brilliant Diamond. This line is going to be for Shining Pearl, just like how I have this blank line, which is supposed to be for maybe Let's Go Eevee or LeafGreen. And then here's Platinum, so Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. So that'll be Infernape, Empoleon, and then Torterra. Here's my white team. Or maybe this is black. I'm pretty sure this is my black team and this is my white team. Damn, I actually don't know. I don't know if any of these guys were exclusives. Oh, it's hard to tell. But anyways, this was Black 2. I know that for sure. There's no mistaking that. This is Black 2. And honorable mentions, Leavani with my Black 2 team, Conkeldor with my Superior team. And then Hall of Fame for, this is where I'm going to put X, Y, Sun, Ultra Moon, and extra line, just in case I have like any other honorable mentions. Or, if I don't, this will be Sword, this will be Shield, and then this is Legends Arceus. And again, this is the game that made me want to go ahead and catch every Pokemon. And you can see actually with some of these Pokemon I did not want to overlap. Like sure, I could play Let's Go Pikachu, get a Gyarados, play the Johto games, get a Gyarados, play the Hoenn games, get a Gyarados. At Sinnoh games, I have a Gyarados, but it's because I have a Gyarados here that I'm not going to do a Gyarados anywhere else. So I've been trying, since I've been consciously going on this journey, to not repeat Pokemon. Legends Arceus kind of precedes that. So here there are some repeats. Staraptor is absolutely going to be one of those because I'm actually going to put Staraptor on my Empoleon team. Sylveon is going to be on my X team. Infernape was already on my Brilliant Diamond team. But absolutely Hisui and Gudra fits, so on and so forth. Quaxley is just there because I don't know where to put him, and this is like one of the spares I got. And yeah, just multiple pages in case anything else comes by. And then this is when we really start the living deck. So I'll tell you right now. Kanto is kind of a mix of Let's Go Pikachu and Yellow, and if you know anything about those exclusive Pokédexes, it means that Ekans, Arbok, I don't actually have a way of catching him in Kanto, and even if you see here, it's like, what do you mean? You have an Arbok right there. I caught this in Johto. I caught this in SoulSilver because SoulSilver actually has the same Pokédex exclusives as, what's it, Blue. And I'm pretty sure LeafGreen, but at the very least the same as Blue, so there's that. And I'll correct that eventually if I go into LeafGreen and it turns out that LeafGreen has the same exclusives as Blue. Either that or I'm gonna have to get Let's Go Eevee, which is fine because I think playing Let's Go Eevee would be cool. You might also see that some Pokemon, for example, aren't right. Like Nidoran is here, but Nidoran is there, and then it should be Nidorina, and then it should be Nidoqueen right after. So the thing that's kind of hard is that actually trying to level up these Pokemon in older games is very tedious, but I figured with the shared XP in later games, I can just catch the Pokemon in the region they belong. Evidence right here, Kanto, but evolve it in a later game where the shared XP just allows me to play the game while not having to worry about particularly grinding on the one Pokemon. So boom, Nidoran will eventually become Nidoqueen, I can transfer it back, and that's all good. I have a Nidoqueen from Kanto, and it's the same thing with the Bellsprouts here. I just cannot be bothered with them right now. But yep, here's Kanto. I don't recall which Pokemon I'm missing here, but it's the same case with these guys. I know that there's Vaporeon here. I'm pretty sure these two are supposed to be the fossil Pokemon. And that's what Let's Go Pikachu is still going to be for, is to catch anything else that I don't have. I don't know about the fossils. I'm pretty sure I can still get fossils from a specific cage. Cage? Cave. And I can get them from there. Another thing that you might notice is that with my legendaries, I actually like to keep them in some of the more premium balls. But for any Pokemon that you catch, no matter what type of ball you use in Pokemon Yellow or Pokemon Red, and maybe even perhaps the Johto games on the Game Boy, I don't know because I've barely played through Crystal and it's the only one I've played, every Pokeball looks the same. So right there at the bottom left, regular Pokeball for Articuno, even though I used an Ultra. Same with Mewtwo, same with Moltres, same with Zapdos. But because I actually have the same Pokemon over in Let's Go Pikachu and they actually remain there, I have Mewtwo in the Master Ball because that is what the ball is for. You know, the ball is the same color scheme as Mewtwo and it has an M, like it's written right for him, you know? It's just genius. And I have to say there is one painful exception with Mew, who as you can see on the bottom right, I caught in Brilliant Diamond. Or was given, basically, because if you have Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee and you play Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl, you get a free Mew. So here's that free Mew, because the only way to get Mew in Kanto is to go through either an event, which doesn't exist anymore, or you do the Mew glitch, which you can do in Pokemon Red. I have Red. I haven't played Red. I could do it, but I don't know if it's legit. I just don't know. But But it's okay, because I think from the cartridges that I bought from the secondhand market, I have some illegitimate Pokemon anyways, and it seems like my collection's fine. So I think I'm cool there. But moving on, we now have Johto, which I'd say out of these two regions so far, I think we're just... Yellow, I think, was a really great, fun game. Just for how simple it is, I really like it. Felt quick compared to a lot of the later games. But then Johto and like HeartGold is actually like very wonderful. It's probably the most realized Pokemon game. I would say so. Like with all the games that I played so far, it feels like it's the most... I don't know, it feels like the most rich when it comes to world design, like living characters. It's just so lively, it's so colorful. And I really think that the DS aesthetics are wonderful for that generation of Pokemon games. So yeah, come down to Lugia and Ho-Oh, and as if you can see, with the original trainer, the name that I've picked, I usually go with a different name for every game. Bataro, Balzo, that's to accurately represent the fact that this game allowed you to play as a female and a male, and I don't know why I did these names. I really blanked out on this point. But this one's less offensive, this one's less stupid. He is Fojima. And I didn't do Crash. Crash is from like the old copy that I had of, what's it? Omega Ruby. That's the physical copy that I have. Because I actually have Omega Ruby and Sun physically, but Alpha Sapphire and Ultra Moon digitally. So yeah, you can see, what's it? Fojima, Majifo. Which are just like kind of rearranging the syllables. If you were to put them as Japanese characters, you could actually just rearrange the characters that way, and you'll notice that. But anyways, this is Hoenn. This is what I did for Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, which I think this is the region that I've enjoyed the least so far. But I still think it has some of the cooler Pokemon, because I would actually particularly compare this to the Kalos region, where I think Kalos I had a bit more fun, but the Pokemon designs are a bit worse. Maybe not even a bit. And moving on, we get to Sinnoh. Oh, I should say as well. Here we go. So legendaries, more legendaries that I actually caught, and Master Balls. I actually ended up getting multiple Master Balls because of some of these games. I don't know, like, I don't know if it's action replay or whatever, but I bought a secondhand copy of Pokemon X. And that game actually had every shiny Pokemon available to you, along with 999 items for everything. So I just transferred some of the Master Balls over and caught as many legendary Pokemon as I saw fit, because I like legendary Pokemon in Master Balls, and I don't have to pick, because you'll get 3. Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza. Rayquaza? I've always heard different pronunciations for the guy, but at least I didn't have to pick. Even if I did, actually, the guy who I bought Omega Ruby from actually had Groudon, so even then, that one was in a Master Ball. I could have just got Kyogre and then Rayquaza. It could have been easy. And then here we actually have Pokemon mostly from Legends Arceus. So you can see that they all have the Pokeball from Legends Arceus. They also have the symbol on the bottom right. This is actually something that I want to correct. I want to go into Shining Pearl or Brilliant Diamond and actually get them from Sinnoh, because when it's all said and done, of course, they all, well, mostly say Hisui. But again, because this is a Pokédex and I'm trying to actually say which region they got introduced in, like Hoenn here, I might have to rectify that mistake later, along with rectifying the fact that I'm missing some Pokemon. So, by the way, I do think that some of these Pokemon look worse in 3D. I'm going to go through that eventually, because there's some shiny Pokemon I have, and I just realized one looks way worse on the Switch. Because I just had it on the 3DS this morning, and then I transferred it today, because I just finished Pokemon Y. Here's the Palkia that I'm saving from Shining Pearl. I'll eventually get that Palkia from Shining Pearl onto here, into that spot, because this Dialga is from Brilliant Diamond. I actually have another Dialga that I got from Platinum, but I put that into my spare slot. But here's Heatran, Regigigas, and Giratina from Platinum, and you can tell because my OT's name is Doom. And same here with Darkrai, which is cool. But Arceus is from Legends Arceus. I figured if he's got a game all to himself, screw it, he can have, like, that Arceus can be in the living dex that I'm making. Victini is actually a guy that I got from one of the copies that I already bought of, I don't know if it was black or white. Again, I'm always getting mixed up with those two. Sometimes if people actually left their team on the cartridge, I'll just keep them and bring them over here. I just need to evolve the Snivy into, I forgot what it's called. Servine? Servine? I think it's Servine. But then yeah, Unova is actually a game that, the Unova games I actually really enjoyed a lot. And I think they have some pretty good designs here and there. Some of them are iffy, but I think they're mostly cool. It's just the levels to which they need to evolve. Oh my gosh. It is tricky. That's why you'll see a bunch of these are not evolved. Pharaoh Seed? Pff, man, I'll just do that later. Clink? To Cling? What's it? To Clang? To Cling Clang? I'll do that later. By the way, I just want to show this off. Ends Zoroark, because in Black 2 and White 2, you get Zoroark from, is his name Getsis? And he gives you N Zoroark, and you can see the original trainer's name is N, and it's just a very nice staple to have in the living decks. But yep, Axew, I wasn't gonna bother with that because this is just way too strenuous. Same thing with Rufflet, same thing with Dano or Dino. I'm pretty sure it's Dino. I say Dino. By the way, you have this trio as well. I was fine doing them with Ultra Balls, but oh, that's right, yeah, because I didn't have access to mini Master Balls in this game. That's easy because this is like, well, that's black, that's white, and then that's black too. That's 3 Master Balls each, and that's easy to do. Oh yes, that's right, and then this game, someone already caught Reshiram on their copy, so I just dragged that over, saved the other one for Landorus. But yeah, Tornadus, Thundurus, they didn't get it, they actually got different balls instead. I don't know why. Oh, I must have ran out of Ultra Balls, honestly, for this guy. But yeah, Genesect also came from a previous game, and here I am having missing Keldeo and somebody else. It's either Keldeo or Keldeo, but anyways, here's basically the start of Kalos. Now, I haven't done the starters yet because I still need to play through X. I haven't played through X, and when I do that, I'll get my Delphox, my Chestnut, and then my Greninja, because I'm playing Greninja in X. Delphox and Chestnut were in Y. I'll breed them with my Ditto. I've had a Ditto since the SoulSilver days, so they've been my breeding machine this whole time, so that's how I'll get the rest of these starters here. I actually already have a Chespin because at the end of Pokemon Y, well, probably also the end of Pokemon X, of course, whatever starter you have, you'll get another starter at the end of the game. So because my starter was Delphox, I ended up with a Chespin. So by the time that I finish with Greninja, I'll probably get whatever Delphox's first stage name is, or basic stage name is, basic form? Basic if you want to think about it like the Pokemon TCG. And then yeah, so, oh, thinking about it now as well, Flabébé or Flabébé, Floette, Florges, there's also other pages dedicated to the genders and the altered forms. I'm not done with this because I still need to go through X. So over here, that's why it's like there's a fairy Pokemon here, I'm pretty sure, that is exclusive to X that I need to get. Klotza, which is just like Dragalge, which you get from the Good Rod and then the Super Rod, so I need to go into X to get that, but I need to start X first of all. And here's the other fossil Pokemon, which I have one of, but I need to wait until nighttime, and you can tell by the time on the top right, it's not nighttime. I need to wait till it's nighttime to actually level it up, and then it'll evolve. But in X, I still need to get the fossil, and then, yeah, and then I'll have the basic form for it. This is for Sylveon. I still need to get my Eevee to have a higher friendship level, and then affection, so that'll be what Sylveon is, and then this is Noibat, this is Noivern, which I have Noivern in my main Pokemon Y team, so I just need to breed it because I don't want to go into the caves and actually catch one. This will be Xerneas, and then I'm pretty sure that these next two other Pokemon that I can't get, it's Deontay and it's Hoopa, and I'm someone else, I'm pretty sure. Volcanion, it's Volcanion. And then this will be the start of the Sun and Ultra Moon stuff. So this is all Alola, and you can see that this Rowlet is actually from Legends Arceus, so I had to keep this as a checkpoint basically, and then I'll actually catch a Rowlet from Alola to put there, and so on and so forth. So that'll be the next game that I play after I finish with X, and I'm actually looking forward to it because I just finished the Y game and I'm actually liking the post game. I actually think it's very nice. It's a very nice story for those who have played it, you know what I mean. When it's all said and done, here's Zaxian because I have field, and I got the code to get a shiny Zaxian. So that's nice. I kept that there as a checkpoint. Here's my Hisui Pokemon, which isn't a lot. You get this for catching a certain amount of Pokemon at something, I don't know. This is a reward on Pokemon Home. You can get this, you can earn it legitimately. A shiny Enamorus. Search up how to do it, I forgot how to do it. And then yeah, the rest of this space is just for Violet and Scarlet. I don't know if it goes up to 1050 now, if they've introduced more. Even then, I think when I made this page, I didn't make it in mind that there was a Pokemon that was actually numbered 1049 and 1050. I think I just made it just in case we were heading to that point. But it doesn't matter because we're going to end up with winds and waves later. So we're going to end up with way more than 1050. Well, not way more than 1050, like we're going to be at 1230 or something like that. But yeah, now I have the regional variants. Here's the Alolan forms, I got none. Galarian forms, I got none. But Hisuian forms, because I finished this game, I actually keep them in their Pokédex numbered order. So, Growlithe 58, Arcanine 59, Voltorb 100, so on and so forth. And this is all of them for Hisui, which is really cool. I actually really like these designs. Paldean forms, again, I'll get to them later. Clodsire is one of my favorites so far, I'll say that. And then gendered forms, these ones I also kept numbered. You might see again it's the same deal where I didn't really level up some of these Pokemon. This is an Ivysaur, but it's supposed to be a Venusaur, and Venusaur male is different to Venusaur that's female. And then yeah, going on, we have the rest of Kanto's Pokemon. Going into Johto's, going into Hoenn's, going into Sinnoh's, unusually large list. But then Sinnoh still needs the rest of this page and a bit on this page. That's almost insane. Yeah, Sinnoh's way too much, man. But again, when I go through Shining Pearl, I'll probably clean this up in a better fashion. Because I don't think you can see some of these Pokemon are from Pokemon Legends Arceus. I did not care about gendered variants at this point. So that'll be something I'll rectify later. I also think that some gendered variants are just objectively cooler than the other. Like, I'll tell you right now, Pikachu with his tail, you know, probably equal with the male. But someone just took this guy's tail, got scissors, and cut the tip of it off. That is insane to me. That is all I see with that Raichu. What's another good example? If you find this funny, I'm with you. It's kind of cool. I don't really get the Torchic differences. Oh man, is there any other cool one? I don't really know. You know what? I like the Staravia, Staraptor ones actually. I think they both work. I think I like female Starly most. I like female Luxio most, but male Luxray more than female Luxray? Yeah. Colored variants are just cool. I almost feel like they don't need to be compared, which is crazy to say. It's like, it's the same species, but I don't care. It's like blue is blue and pink is pink. I think that's just awesome. Same thing with the Hippowdon and the Hippopotas. Although, I gotta say, I'm just more of a fan of this color than gray. Although, female Hippopotas is cooler because it's not gray. And Jellicent's also cool because it's blue and pink. On Pheasant, I think female just sucks. Pyro is probably the most awesome female variant out of all of them. I think it's I don't know about the males because I don't like how the mane looks. Meowstic is also insane. I think this and the female ones look incredibly cool. Basculegion is just, I barely noticed this. But anyways, moving on. Other altered forms. You have the seasonal dealings in Sourcebox. You have the altered forms for Landorus, which I just caught in the Dream Raider. I don't mean just like I just did it. And then you have an Amorous, because I caught this in Legends Arceus, just transferred it like that. Dialga, Polka, and Giratina are supposed to be in their altered forms as well, but for some reason they aren't. I keep Cast form because I'm not sure if I can change its weather form and leave it in Pokemon Home like that, or if it just stays like this. I just caught these today. Like, if you just note this, the fact that today I'm actually recording on the 24th. Planning on uploading this on the 27th, I think. And then, yeah, you can see right there at the bottom right, it says caught on the 23rd. So this is all stuff that I actually just did yesterday, and I just leveled them up today, actually. To which I realized I didn't have to do 33 for these guys. I totally neglected the fact that they needed an object. I don't think it's the Shiny Stone. Maybe it's the Shiny Stone. That's how you get Floette to become Florges. I gotta say, I really like the blue. And I'm not even a red guy, but I think red looks better than white and orange as well. It's kind of a stinker, but yellow is the one that I went with. I actually have a Florges on my team, and I stuck with yellow. Although, I wish I got blue. I just didn't catch any blues, and I didn't know how. I searched it up later. All the unknowns, I have a whole page dedicated to them because I might catch them later. I don't know, but if I do, it's gonna be from Johto, like it says here. And yep, we're back here. So that's it for my living decks. Snapshot in history. Let's see how things evolve from here.